felt like you're the only sane driver on the road? Brace yourself for some prime examples of driving that'll make you question reality.
Help me! Help me!
In the midst of a wild police pursuit, his car flipped, and he made a daring attempt to escape on foot. Unable to find a parking spot, he opted for a creative solution: parking on the beach. It's surprising the driver didn't sense something was wrong after witnessing the car in front of him. This distracted driver ended up in the pool, creating a splash so big it almost qualified as a DIY tsunami. Missed the exit, but don't worry, I've got a PhD in detours. Genius decides to play traffic cop, blocking the fire truck because he's convinced he has the right-of-way. A line of hopefuls forms behind a wrecked car, mistaking it for an exit. They stood there for hours, showcasing the epitome of patience or confusion. Witnessing an Amish horse wagon drifting away? Now that's a blend of tradition and unexpected talent. These wild teens decide to host a competition. Who can send their car flying the furthest? Because what's life without a little bit of airborne adventure, right? Why break the bank on a fancy U-Haul when you can turn your car into a Tetris masterclass? This train crash is so slow, it's like watching a sloth race.
I'll make a call.
Own real-life GTA mission, just waiting for the stars to pop up. Talk about a close call! Nearly ran over their own yard, but luckily, the hero of the day was a tree, swooping in to save the house. How dumb can you get? Brake checking a truck on the highway is like challenging a rhino to a staring contest. Nobody wins, it's just plain reckless. Talk about a last-minute exit. This guy almost missed his turn, so he decided to take the sign with him for a little extra reminder next time. If she didn't spot that Porsche coming from 3 miles away, she might need glasses, or maybe just a lesson in basic vehicle spotting. They say money can't buy happiness, but it definitely can't buy driving skills either. Impatient idiot thought they were starring in their own Fast and Furious movie, but ended up crashing in the blooper reel instead. Consider brake checking on a motorbike? You might as well try to navigate a minefield blindfolded. Attempting to run over another driver in a road rage incident, only to miss and flip his own car. Road raging lunatic decides to brake check a dump truck.
Help me! Help me!
Drifting and celebrating at a traffic light, only to lose control and collide with a cop car.
Oh my God, no she did!
The local hotshot who thinks missing red lights is a badge of honor. It's a daring attempt indeed, driving through mud and rivers. Ever seen a high-speed chase where the car looks like it's barely holding together? The car arrogantly ignores the motorcycle, so the biker takes matters into his own hands, literally opening the car door and making an unexpected grand exit. Ever find yourself at the red light thinking it's the safest place to be, only to have a close encounter with chaos and confusion? Spinning your parents' car like a DJ's turntable, but instead of dropping beats, you end up dropping jaws as you collide with a light pole. So this old guy gets the brilliant idea to give another car a gentle push, but oops, it ends up going straight through the wall of the mechanic's shop. Hoo-yah! This guy's playing a high-stakes game of dodge the car, but forgets he's not the Flash and ends up being his own worst enemy. This guy's wheels give him about as much traction as a banana peel on an ice rink. This driver files a complaint with the truck company saying, "One of your drivers almost turned me into roadkill." He tries a boneheaded overtaking maneuver and gets a surprise visit from his own washing machine smashing through the back window. Transporting wood in the most absurd manner imaginable.
Nice.
Talk about multitasking. He's about to miss his exit, so he passes the responsibility to the unsuspecting car beside him. Despite the police blocking off the road due to a fatal crash scene, someone still attempted to drive through. These trucks ended up kissing. Police chase ends in a driveway, resulting in 3 totaled cars. When they tried to steal his car, he thought fast and pulled off the best move possible. This looks like a big pain to do every morning. The Tesla didn't have enough time to close the door, resulting in a total loss for both the car and the bus. Seems like this truck driver decided they didn't need their wheels anymore.
I'm dying. Help me.
A drive-through pool experience sounds like a good idea until you realize your car isn't equipped with a snorkel. Some idiot decided to come flying down the street just as the state trooper neighbor was leaving for work. Now this is a close call. Looks like they paid for a spot and got a demolition derby instead. This looks comfy to drive. Yeehaw! The Porsche manages to avoid a high-speed crash, proving once again that sometimes speed and agility are the best defense mechanisms on the road. This cop chase has Looney Tunes logic written all over it. This car defended the road so well that the Mustang almost ended up in the trench. Driving through a flash flood, because what could possibly go wrong? This driver bought the dash cam the same day. This must be the calmest car flip ever. Talk about tempting fate! Doing donuts around the cops is like inviting trouble to a spinning dance party. This Tesla thought it owned both sides of the road. Looks like this car missed its exit. A motorcycle getting hit by a car at 105 miles per hour in Nürburgring? Impressive he stayed on his bike. This driver must have really ticked off the truck driver. The lost driver blocks the pit lane exit during a race in Brazil. The truck isn't supposed to drive through that area, so the train takes matters into its own hands and puts a stop to the truck's unauthorized route. He always takes this corner slowly because the neighbors always cut it. Today, it paid off. Looks like the neighbor's kid got a new car and decided to celebrate with some neighborhood donuts. How is this possible? Taking off your sweatshirt mid-drive is a recipe for disaster. Speeding just before a roundabout sent him flying. This video is like chaos in motion. Every frame is a wild ride you didn't sign up for. Looks like the early bird crashed into the car and thought they could just fly away without consequences. This drunk lady lost control of her car at 100 miles per hour. Looks like that bird had a bone to pick with the motorcyclist. A dump truck crashing into a truck carrying flammable gases. Trucks and power lines don't mix. Just ask the unfortunate driver who ended up in a tangled mess. This truck just lost its container in the blink of an eye. Looks like this small clown car couldn't quite make the turn in Monaco. The driver just wrecked 3 of his house's cars. What an incredible miss! Luckily, speed like that is a dangerous game of chance. This guy went speeding off-road in a car that's not built for it, and surprise, surprise, he ended up flipping the car. The car stops to let him make the turn, but things take a turn for the worse. Gray car really couldn't wait for him to pass the person in the right lane. This stupid driver almost ends a kid. The truck hits the Prius and tries to make a getaway. This driver must be blind. They thought the hard shoulder was the exit lane and started piling up behind the truck. They've never tested a roundabout before, and this is what happened. Traffic jams can be caused by a variety of factors, from accidents to road construction to sheer volume of vehicles on the road, or this driver. This trucker's been on the road for 40 years and never had an accident until today. This green car is not giving the fire truck space. Talk about a serious case of roadblock ignorance. This car reversed back on the motorcyclist and then shouted for the cops, not realizing it was all caught on camera. This white car thinks he owns the road. This Jeep driver was not accepting his mistakes. Heroic bus driver saves the day. The Volvo driver mistook one for another. She really put on the cables backwards. Truck freak takes up barrier in drive-thru. A bad driver never misses their turn. After this, he went home, cried, ate a lasagna, and listed the bike for sale.